last video was sideways. Big update, I guess, because it's been like a year. So basically, in the past year, last time the video was made, I had the Prelude, CRX was on jack stands, and I was dailying the EJ. Brian's car did not run. Well, Brian's car still not running, but it did run for like 2 months, 3 months. Till he spun another bearing, decided to ditch the entire block, and now he's getting a new block. But yeah, he spun a bearing, turbo. He was learning how to tune and everything. That had nothing to do with it. The oil pump failed, so that's why he ended up spinning a rod bearing again. And yeah, so he's taking this time to do it right. The block he has is overboard, so he had to order new pistons. He had one rod that was messed up, so he had to order a new one. And then he fixed that because he never had that mount. And we got that off a junkyard because he got this nice motor mount set, Jack Spania Racing, and couldn't put that on because his original motor mount was welded to the frame. So like this right here, you can see it was welded like that to the frame and just bolted to the transmission. It was nuts. So that's all fixed now. Sean came over and welded that up nice and neat. There's the Turbs key on the header right there, you can see. But yeah, this is his little tent that he built. This is still in my backyard. Matter of fact, let's go on a venture. So, his car is halfway out and halfway in this little tent thing. It's like Operation Mash Tent. So then, of course, still the EF hatch. This hood is a scrap metal hood. Don't be sad, I didn't do that. It is already bondoed and cut and destroyed. My hood on the CRX, the one you saw last, the black one, was not latched and shattered the windshield again. So yeah, I had to steal that hood, and I got these mirrors for my CRX, but some a-hole at a job site broke them. Oh yeah, I'm no longer doing Kelly's machine shop. Once I got my motor done, I was out of there, so. This guy broke it. Doesn't stay up anymore. So it's just chilling. Still a storage unit. And then there's this 91 EF sedan. There's something special about this one, though. Auto tragic. 2 pedals. But this is mine now too, just by happenstance. But it showed up here with a blown motor, and now this is a fresh D15B2 out of a Wago van. Good running motor. I just need to finish the swap. Put a radiator in because I got this car from Josh. He ended up having 2 cars, and this one blew up, and then he had an Integra, and then the Integra blew up, so he needed to fix the Integra. So now I have this one, which it's not really a bad car, minus the damage. It was vandalized. I don't know what the hell that was. Taillights are broken. This is still sitting here. That's still sitting there. Then we got Jax sitting there. What's up, Jax? So this has been parked since August for a couple of things. This thing, transmission was making noise. So of course I pulled the transmission out to rebuild it. Never rebuilt the transmission before. And me and my buddy did it because he had done a couple transmissions and I haven't. So put it back together and the output shaft wouldn't turn. So we're like, alright, now what? So I took it to my buddy who's a transmission guy. We ended up putting one washer in backwards. It was concave, so we put it in the wrong way and it wouldn't make anything move because it was holding up. So yeah, he fixed that and I put this all back together. Nice clean transmission, brand new, freshly rebuilt with all new bearings. And then I started. Oh yeah, when I pulled it apart for the transmission, a couple of other things. The upper control arms were both broken. The fuel injectors were broken because I was going to clean them out, but they were beyond that. So, got some True Hearts upper control arms, and then got some RDX 410cc replacements. I don't know, whatever number that is. But went to start it, she had no oil pressure. So I was like, what the heck? The only thing that I did was jack up the engine while I was putting the transmission on to support the engine. But I got this car with a dented oil pan. So I was like, maybe the pickup tube finally came loose. Let's see. This is the pickup tube. It's totally smashed. And the pan was no better. So I got a fresh pan, fresh pickup tube, and put it on. Still no oil pressure. Okay, so this has already pulled the pan once. Now I have to pull it again. Okay, pulled it again. But this time, I bought an oil pump, I bought a timing kit, and valve cover gasket kit. Here, let's see here. Brand new oil pump, brand new water pump that you can't see, timing cover. I've never had this piece on here before, that piece yes, but they're both painted now. New motor mount because I had that cheapo aluminum eBay one, and then of course the freshly powder coated valve cover, new valve cover seal all the way around, new PCV valve, new hardware for the 1320 headers, new fuel injectors, new upper control arms. Now all I have to do is put oil in it, fill the coolant back up, burp it, and then Sean's going to retune it so it can be tuned for the right size injectors. But that's just the EJ. I need an air filter next. Trust me, I know. It's dirty. This is my shaved valve cover. There's like a white speckle on there. See that? That's why I went with white with the valve cover, and then there's a red speckle on the white. Yeah, so it's kind of red and kind of white at the same time. And I got my coil packs. Speed Factory coil pack conversion. But she's getting there. New strut bar. And then while it was down for so long, I finally took out the heater core. And I plugged it up electrician style. Relocated the stereo because it was sticking out like right here before, just hovering. I got an actual NRG hub because I had the ghetto eBay one. Relocated the voltmeter, and Sean is right now powder coating the cover for that to match the valve cover. So that's the story on the EJ. It's almost back up and running. I almost assure you that this race oil pump will have good oil pressure. So you're wondering, what's up with the Ep3? How come it's been sitting for so long? What's going on? You haven't had anything? Yeah, I'm sure if I had it running, I'd have it on the fucking channel right away. But this. So I'm not gonna lie. That Honda Prelude gave me more nightmares and more headaches than I ever wanted from a car. I had an opportunity come up, and so I did it. Thank you to Kyle from Booster Boys for the motivation. An RA1. It's a 97. RA1. It's already a little pimped out with some hood spacers that are sparkle pink. Of course, we got the steering wheel. Perfect heart for my lady. Oil pressure gauge because one engine has already said goodbye. Because race car wheels. This is what she's looking at under the hood, which is an F22 B6. So it's stock block for the car, and then the head is OBD1. So it's kind of confusing, but that's an OBD1 Dizzy, OBD1 head, OBD2 block. Really confusing. But it's got AC, it's got power steering, it's got strut bar. It's got all kinds of cool stuff. I painted the horns and redid them because when I did the steering wheel, it kind of ruined them. But there's a bunch of parts coming for this thing I got to do. So, that's this. It's actually pretty clean. I just had to strip it out because the carpet smelled like mold. So, yeah. And then the CRX is back up and running. It has been since December. It's honestly been January, February, March. Yeah, it's March right now, so it's been 3 months. 13 months. No. 15 months. It's been 15 months running as a daily. It's got some upgrades. You see the Ep3 over there? We'll go over that in a minute. But it's got 86 SI wheels. Let's get out of my shadow. Period correct for a period car. Obviously, the hood flew up. So that's the hood from the EF hatch that I painted purple. Got a blue logo. Went with the old school hood pins because I know they're going to be locked if I see the lock on there. There we go. And then I've been daily driving this, and so the turn signal shattered on the passenger side, so I got a full set of blacked out, smoked. I got a blue hub. Correction, Amanda got that for me. I got a new exhaust because two-step blew up my other one. I got an antenna on the top, and you're probably like, what's the antenna for? What are you even doing with an antenna? Why would you have an antenna? Oh, yeah, that. That's a PA, aka CB radio. So, CRX is still doing its thing. She's sitting fresh at that many miles on the new cluster. That's a lot. It's almost 390,000 on the show. The engine looks pretty much the same. I painted the speaker pods and the strut bar, and then my batteries back there and a custom mount and all my tools because it's my daily. I've done a lot of stuff since it's been down and fixed. That's the speedo difference from the old speedo to the new one. Anyway, finally got a wideband back in here because I stole it for the EJ when I got the EJ. Got a new horn button with the new hub because why not? Still the same old wheel. I've had this since 2014. And I got a power converter right there. Power inverter, whatever you want to call it. This is my 2-step button right now. So 2-step off, 2-step on. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but it works. Yeah, that's the CRX. The Ep3 is a different story. I wish it could have been running many times over, but money keeps permitting. So this is how close we are. We are fuel pump switch, stereo installed, center bezel painted. This is the light that tells me when my fuel pump is on. Then I have 3 instead of 2 now. Fuel pressure, oil pressure, and boost. Okay? And then I got the wideband right there. And then the voltmeter right there. And then CRX parts right there. And then CRX parts right there. They're fucking everywhere all the time. So anyway, the only thing that's stopping me on this thing is the tank of gas that's nasty, that I have to drain out, that I need help doing. Nobody wants to help me do that usually when they're here because they're always busy doing their shit. So, I'm stuck on that. But, oh yeah, look at that thing. This is pretty much ready to go. I just have to hook up the battery. I'm pretty sure it's good. You got brand new struts for this. I got the brand new fender painted and on. Alright, so these wheels are finally on it. Back on their home. Tags need to be redone because they're expired. Finally paint matched the skeleton hood. Now, here's the good shot. Yeah, it's almost there. I need to finish painting the strut bar. I need to finish painting this cover that I just found for the first time in a while. I need to get AN lines from here to there for the catch can. I need to wire up my boost by gear max solenoid to 12 volt source and to the ECU pinout location that it needs to go to. But I don't know if you can tell, I kind of went ham on this thing. Last video I showed, oh yeah, I gotta hook up my brake booster. Vacuum line. Brand new Edelbrock filter rated for 450 horsepower. I had a brand new line I had to get for the oil feed. Wrap the header, or downpipe, whatever. Dress bolts. Painted turbo. Painted valve cover, new coil packs. Painted everything. Painted bay. It's just dirty. Painted hinges. These are brand new pieces with all new rubbers, all new clips. All the AC lines are all new clips, new O-rings. I finally got this bracket that I never had before, so this thing's solid. Everything is clean, fresh. I did riv nuts right here instead of the plastic clips. I did riv nuts on my license plate on the front. Riv nuts holding that in, riv nuts holding that in. Riv nuts for the win. So, she's almost there. It's literally those couple things I just showed you, and then it needs a tune because it was tuned on 1000cc fuel injectors. And now, so the last time this ran, it was on a stock pump. Well, it had an aftermarket pump, high flow Walbro or whatever, or AEM. AEM high flow pump, but it still ran off the factory regulator, which is voltage regulated. So this thing never really ran to its peak potential. Now that this motor is done like it is, upgraded, aftermarket fuel rail, AN lines, K-tuned fuel pressure regulator, and then there's an inline fuel filter right there because I did the stock regulator delete. I have all the way from the fuel pump housing to right there AN lines, I created my own return to make this EP3 a returnless system, so it can put the excess back in the fuel tank. And there's literally only a couple things that I think this thing would need to be ready to hit the dyno, and I'm hoping for 420 horsepower I'd be happy with, because the rings are gapped for 15 pounds, and I know any Honda engine on 15 pounds, she'll make some juice. So this also has the RSX Type S oil pump on it now instead of the EP3 oil pump. Wiseco pistons, max speeding rod rods, ARP head studs, Cometic head gasket. So I mean, this thing's pretty solid for being the first build I've ever done on this car. So the anticipation is there, boys. That's the kind of filter I need for the EJ. But it's almost there. I think tags is probably the most expensive thing I have left to do, because it's like $300 or something. But once she's up and running, you will know. I mean, look, I got dress bolts on everything. Painted these just to zip tie the fuel line to them. Dress bolts. Oh, the intercooler piping's painted. New couplings everywhere I needed. But yeah, I mean, not bad for rattle can. When it's all dusty and dirty and you can still see a reflection like that, like, what the fuck? Hell yeah, bro. Tell me I can't lay out rattle can, what? So I also am lucky enough to have these snowflakes finally on the EJ where they belong. Oh yeah, shout out Deadbeat. If you don't follow him, go follow him. Shout out me on Instagram. But I traded Brian these taillights because I like the old school look. I still got my 50/50s, but I traded them my blacked out stock ones. These ones. Valve covers ready for paint. They look way better on his car, I think. Yeah, blacked out on the teal. And they're not even blacked out, they're just smoked. But she's doing things. We're getting things done. One day at a time. I quit Kelly's a while ago because personal choice. Let's just keep it at that. Started doing electrician work again, so I'm doing an electrician thing. I was off by 2 o'clock today, and I went to work at 5. Well, I was at work at 5, but it's good. Still at the same spot, still living paycheck to paycheck, but that's the economy for you, and I'm not even gonna get started on that right now. But yeah, so I have all these projects. I have this extra Z6, this extra single cam D15B2, that's extra transmission for the Odyssey, that's Isaac's motor he still hasn't picked up, that's a CRX transmission with shift linkage for the EF hatch. So I mean, I have a lot of work to do. Brian needs to get his car done, but his pistons and rods should be here today, so that's a good sign. This thing, I should have oil and transmission fluid in it today. That's a good sign. Sorry, oil and coolant. There's already transmission fluid in it. Duh. But it should be done here shortly, and I will definitely post an update. I've been slacking for way too long, and it will not happen that much more. We're starting a new YouTube channel. Well, Brian already did, called Team Real Street Cars. and you should check it out. We'll post a link in the description below, but I'm going to put my first edit up along with this video the same day on my channel. So if you're watching this, hop over to Team Real Street Cars. I'll put a link also, and check out my video from my first edit on that channel. But it's the team channel and we have access to it, and I've just been waiting on getting a new phone so I can have room to edit a video. So finally time to catch up, because my phones have been pretty crappy lately. So yeah, once again, just live every day like it's your last, and stay positive even in negative moments, and have faith that no matter how much shit happens, they will be done, and you will be smiling, cracking VTEC, or hitting boost, or just peeling out the tires. You're gonna be happy. Just be patient, okay? Don't let patience get the best of you. Or sorry, don't let impatience get the best of you. So on that note, I'm gonna say peace out, and I'm sorry it's been so long, but I'll keep it updated on the reel now. So take care.